There are three words that have opened prison doors, calmed storms, and made the impossible suddenly make sense. Most people pray for change, but they never speak the words that allow heaven to move. If you've been wondering why your prayers feel unanswered, if life feels scattered and nothing fits together, listen closely, because these three words, simple, quiet, ancient, have aligned lives for centuries. Padre Pio lived them. Jesus himself spoke them. And once you know them, you will never pray the same way again. Stay with me till the end, and you'll understand why everything begins to align the moment you whisper them. Every believer faces that moment, when heaven seems silent, when you keep asking, Lord, when will things change? Padre Pio said, prayer is the key that opens the heart of God, but the key only turns when the heart holding it has surrendered. Many people pray with hope, but few pray with release. That's the difference between asking God and trusting God. And the secret lies inside those three words. Think for a second. When Jesus stood before the storm, he didn't panic. He spoke. When he healed, he spoke. When he faced the cross, he spoke again. Not with fear, but with surrender. Words matter. Your mouth shapes your faith. Heaven listens not only to what you feel, but to what you say. That's why Padre Pio whispered the same phrase in joy and in pain, in sickness and in peace. He knew, when you speak in alignment with God, creation itself begins to reorder around you. And those three words are, Thy will be done. They sound small, but they carry the full weight of surrender. When Jesus knelt in Gethsemane, his friends asleep, his body trembling, he said, Father, thy will be done. That moment shook eternity. Heaven didn't see weakness. Heaven saw alignment. When you say thy will be done, you release the need to control. You let God be God. You stop fighting against his timing and start flowing with his plan. The job you lost, the relationship that ended, the delay you don't understand, all of it begins to make sense under those three words. Because surrender is not defeat, it's divine partnership. Padre Pio once told a grieving soul, if you abandon yourself to God's will, you will never be lost. That's what happens when these words leave your lips sincerely. Heaven rearranges everything around your yes. Say them in the morning when anxiety wakes before you do. Say them at night when the world feels heavy. Say them in traffic, in waiting rooms, in moments when you don't know what comes next. Each time you whisper, Thy will be done, you invite God's order into your chaos. You stop demanding answers and start living inside his peace. And slowly, beautifully, the scattered pieces begin to align. Not because life became easier, but because your heart finally became still. So today, whatever burdens you carry, whisper those words. Whisper them until fear loosens its grip. Whisper them until your heartbeat matches heaven's rhythm. Because when your soul truly says, Thy will be done, miracles no longer feel like surprises. They feel like home. If this message reached you, write amen in the comments as your surrender of faith. And share this with someone who needs to remember that God's plan is still working, even in the silence. May the peace of Christ guard your heart, and may everything in your life begin to align under his perfect will. Amen.